So I started traveling on a budget. I was still working my 9 to 5 then.
Okay.
So I'm on a fixed income. I'm the everyday girl paying her student loans. I'm doing all that. So what I started doing was I would go on Skyscanner and I would look up flights under $100. So I wouldn't be concerned about the destination. I wasn't chasing a destination. I was more so looking where the deals were. So I would go on skyscanner.com and I would look up where I was. You put in your destination, so let's say New Jersey or New York, and then where it says where your departure, where you located, and then where it says destination, I would just click everywhere. So that way, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going where my pockets can afford for me to go.
You were skyscanner.com. We're gonna put that in the show notes so y'all can have that. But you're telling me that from where you were, your destination,
Your departure.
you would just type in I'm departing, say for an example, New Jersey, where you were, and I have $100 to spend, and I want to go somewhere. So Skyscanner, you tell me where can I go for $100, and they will have out of countries for $100.
And it gets better. On skyscanner.com, you put in your departure city and your destination, just leave it blank and right-click everywhere. And then where it says date, select cheapest month. So that way you're asking Skyscanner. Skyscanner is essentially an oracle because you're saying, hey, Skyscanner, tell me everywhere in the world I can go from New Jersey and what's the cheapest month to get there.
Are you serious? So you're going into, and I love this because she's talking about a budget. So you're saying, hey, here's my budget. Skyscanner, you tell me when I can go, where I can go, when I can go within this budget.
Yeah.
And then once you get that date, if they're working a 9 to 5, then you already know, okay, cool. November, I can go to this particular destination. I'm going to put in time off for that month now.
Exactly. So essentially, if you went on skyscanner.com and you put in from Houston to everywhere and the cheapest month, it's going to give you all 195 countries plus the territories and what's the cheapest month to get there from where you are right now. So if you look at 6 different countries or 12 different countries and you're like, okay, Spain, this is the cheapest month to get there. Bermuda, this is the cheapest month to get there. So every month you have a trip to look forward to. You get what I'm saying? A lot of my friends had kids and I was the only one that didn't have no man and didn't have no kids. So it's like I got the money. Every weekend or every once a month, I should be on somebody's island with a drink in my hand. And you got to think about it. You're not going to exhaust your PTO because that's another thing. Remember, I had a day job, a master's degree at my job for 15 years. So my little trick was every month there's typically a holiday. January, we get off MLK. February, President's Day, Lincoln's Day. April, Good Friday. May is Memorial Day. So what I would do was I would take the day before or the day after the holiday off. So that way, if MLK is on a Monday, I got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then I'll take off on Tuesday. And then Tuesday night, I fly back. So every month,
you were going somewhere.
I had a 4-day weekend.
On a budget.
On a budget and only using one day of time. Because remember, I'm doing it before the holiday or after the holiday. So that's how I'm able to travel. I'm not exhausting my PTO, so it's not leave abuse. And it's cheap. And another thing that I did was, at my job, the first pay period of the month, I would work overtime, but I would put it in as time and a half. I would put it in as comp time. So basically, let's say you work overtime for the first pay period.
Instead of you getting paid, you wanted time off.
I put it in as comp time. So that way, I always have lots of time. And as long as you're using comp time, you never use the vacation time. So technically, you're not leave abuse because you're carrying over 2 years worth of vacation time because you only use your comp time. So that's how I was able to do it. And then the second 2 weeks of the month, that second pay period, I used time and a half for cash. So that way I had extra cash to buy the outfits to go on the trips.
This is why they call you the passport abuser. Because you put a strategy and system in place to where you're living within your means and your budget. You're not borrowing money to travel. You're like, all right, cool. How do I work the system legally, ethically, and morally? I have a 9-to-5 job. Cool, great. Instead of me getting the extra money to pay taxes on, let me get that. See, I just said something. So you didn't have to pay taxes on the extra income. You just say, you know what? Don't pay me right now up front. Let me get the time off.
Pay me in time.
So listen to what you just said. You're traveling and still getting a paycheck. So you're not taking time off and it's costing you time. You got it within your budget. You're in a beautiful country, single, bikini, sipping a cocktail. At that time, probably looking at some, Mexican brothers and sisters out there having a good time. And you're getting paid to do it because you're still getting paid from your job. And she's within her budget.
Within my budget.
Skyscanner. And I love how you're saying, all right, listen, be wise. We also get this time off. So let me plan trips around this time off. So as you started doing this, when did you start realizing, wait, I can make a lot of money doing this? And then as I make a lot of money doing it, I can teach people how to do this. When did it click to you like, yo, this could be a full-time situation for me?
Yeah, so in 2019, I was in the Seychelles by myself. You know, it was Country 34.
Okay.
And a lady reached out and said, "Hey, I love your page. I see that you solo travel. Can you teach me?"
Are you serious?
And so many other girls had been writing comments under my page, like, "How are you doing it? I'm scared I'm gonna get snatched," so much. And I said, "Okay, I'll show you." I showed her my system. She called me back 3 months later. She said, "I just took my second solo trip out of the country. But what I didn't tell you when I purchased your course is that I work for Forbes.
What?
And I would like to write an article about you." And that's how I landed the Forbes article.
Because you helped someone do what she wanted to do, and she did it. And then, because I read the Forbes article, and I was like, yo, and I forgot what, you was on the news. And that's where I found out about you. I saw the clip, and I was like, there's a black sister traveling by herself? Because most black sisters will be scared to travel by themselves. And you've traveled to 65 countries, 59 of them being solo.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How did you overcome the fear? You got to overcome the fear. How did you overcome the fear of traveling by yourself? It wasn't just the income that you're making, but were you ever fearful that, dang, I'm going to a country all by myself? How did you overcome that fear?
So at the time, I had just gotten out of an emotionally abusive relationship.
Okay.
And I had also been stranded on vacation, and all of this had happened within a 4-month period. So I was already emotionally very low and drained. Getting out of bed in the morning was very hard for me. Doing simple things like eating was just too hard for me. And I told my mother, I don't feel right. And she said, well, that's good, because the only place that you can go from here is up.
Ooh,
so get up.
I like mama.
And so
I
was just like, you know what? Fear isn't even the first thing on my mind, because what else can go wrong? And then you got to also think about it. I'm from the streets. I'm from East Orange.
Yeah.
So even if I'm in a foreign country by myself, I still got, the blood of Jesus, and I got my common sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm still kind of gritty in that aspect, you know? So I just decided, let me do it as a social experiment. And if it doesn't work, I'll never do it again.
Wow.
So when I took that first step to finding out who I was on the other side of my fear, and if I could actually go through with this, from there, I looked up, and I had a $1.3 million company, 10,000 clients, and this all started from me deciding that I was going to do one thing different that day.
Say that one more time. You have a 1 point what?
I woke up, and next thing I knew, I had a $1.3 million company, a $10,000 client base, and 10x major publications. The USA Today
Yes.
is the biggest publication in the world, and there I was on the cover.
Yes.
And to think that people were trying to put a ceiling on me. No, you think that I can't do it because you don't see yourself doing it. Not necessarily that I can't do it. People were like, girl, you're going to go out there by yourself. You could get snatched. I'm like, yo, I'm from East Orange. I feel like I'm living in Chirac right now. What are you saying?
yeah.
Like, you know, like, so I guess my idea of safety was skewed a little bit because of my external environment already. So